amalgam to the context of the complaint are almost nil. There's really, it's like there's no really actual facts.
If this is such a mistake and impossible and not appropriate and going to get them in trouble, why would they have done it?
You won't believe the chaos Blake Lively just unleashed. And Ryan Reynolds? He's livid. This isn't just your typical Hollywood scandal. No, baby, this is full-blown self-destruction disguised as strategy. Blake thought she was playing 4D chess. Turns out she was playing Jenga. With a lawsuit.
Be an abusive process, and we intend to take all action allowable under the law, as you're saying, echoing what you're saying.
So here's how it all began. Blake filed this shady little lawsuit under some no-name company called Van Zen Inc., thinking she was slick, like the public wouldn't catch on. But the internet, oh honey, the internet always catches on.
Well, it's an ethical problem. Well, there's a lot of problems. So the optics of this are terrible. This lends to the credence that this was obviously created not with any good faith basis of a dispute between Van Zandt and Doe.
And let's be real, this whole legal stunt, it's not just messy, it's disaster level bad. Like Blake has made some PR mistakes before, but this is her Mount Everest of chaos. A fake lawsuit with no real target, just vague accusations tossed at a ghost. Sis really filed a case against John Doe. Who does that?
Zan versus the John Doe's is clearly a Blake Lively lawsuit, but clearly was filed without anybody's actual name to skirt the issue and try to get this more secretive.
Like seriously, who wakes up and says, let me sue imaginary people today? Apparently Blake, that's who.
Any lawyer will tell you you do not file a complaint if you don't know the name of the person that you are suing, unless you're trying to protect that person's identity for some reason, which if you're pissed off enough to sue them, you probably don't care about their identity.
Classic Lively. Let's throw a lawsuit into the wind and see what sticks. The worst part? She made it look like some weird guessing game for the public. No names, no faces, just vibes and subpoenas.
This case is now, I think, already been dismissed, right, Ron? So this has already been filed and done with the date of September 27th in New York.
And right when the media caught wind of it, bam, the timing got real sus. Just before a major civil rights department filing connected to Justin Baldoni? Girl, you can't tell us that was coincidence.
Yeah, our reporters are confirming that too. Yes, this case was dismissed. Unclear when, but from what I gathered as well, right before the CRD was filed.
Suddenly, everyone started putting the pieces together. This lawsuit, filed right before the CDR filing, felt like a trap. It reeked of a setup. Was Blake trying to take Justin down behind closed doors?
It was dismissed voluntarily by Van Zandt Inc. just before the New York Times article came out.
But guess what? That bogus lawsuit? Dismissed. In December 2024, Van Zandt Inc. pulled it like it was some random clerical error. Like, oopsies, we accidentally tried to sneak subpoenas through the back door. No biggie, right?
That was a company of Blake Lively's. As more and more went through the state of California and other sort of filings, it was owned by Blake Reynolds.
Oh, but here's where it gets delicious. Turns out Van Zandt Inc. shares an address with, wait for it, Blake and Ryan. Oh yes, we're talking about a shady little legal shell game happening right under their own roof.
This Van Zandt complaint was created purely with an ulterior motive, which has its ethical implications, if that's true, with regards to the New York State Bar. Probably as Van Zandt Inc. probably has some implications. You know, nobody should be wasting.
This is giving secret backroom plot to grab confidential data without getting caught. You don't share an address with a fake company used in a lawsuit unless you're hiding something.
Lively's lawyers said the newly uncovered lawsuit was common and entirely appropriate and accused Friedman of faux outrage.
It was all just a front. Van Zandt was Blake's personal Trojan horse, a way to demand private phone records without actually having a case. But sure, nothing to see here, totally normal.
By talking to some other folks, I've learned that there was a confidentiality agreement between Stephanie Jones and...
But wait, it gets messier. Stephanie Jones, a publicist tied to both Blake and Justin, somehow ends up smack in the middle of this circus. And what did she allegedly do? Oh, just casually hand over someone's phone records.
If you were to voluntarily give internal communications between Stephanie Jones and Baldoni to a third party, regardless of the purpose of whether being asked for, that would be a violation of that confidentiality.
Those records belonging to Jennifer Ayal reportedly ended up with Blake's team, with no legal case even active. Just vibes and subpoenas again. And wouldn't you know, the agency that reps Blake and Ryan is caught up in the mix too. Convenient, right?
Trying to get the cell phone records from Jennifer Abel, they said they got a subpoena, which also allowed the New York Times to do this as well. Well, we finally now have learned what this so-called case was that everyone's wondering, where did this come from?
We're talking about a legal tangle straight out of a Netflix thriller. Fake companies, shady legal moves, talent agencies, subpoenas flying like confetti. It's a disaster where no one even knows who's winning.
Item 2, the context of the complaint are almost nil. There's really, it's like there's no really actual fact.
And let's not pretend Ryan is just some innocent bystander. His name is all over this mess. Whether he's playing puppet master or just riding shotgun, his hands aren't clean.
Have confused the rules of pleading with the rules of evidence, which I've definitely seen some discussion online of people saying that's a little sassy. That is a little.
This is way deeper than a simple legal feud. It smells like a full-blown conspiracy, the kind where nothing adds up, but everything makes sense when you realize it's all about control, image, and power.
I think we've noticed over the past couple of weeks even, there have been a few clips that have come out of the woodwork essentially about Ryan that sleuths have found with some kind of problematic moments. And then there's also been the whole kid pool controversy, which definitely doesn't make him look great.
And now, Ryan Reynolds is seeing red. This isn't just bad press, it's a full-on legal nuke, and it's about to blow up both their brands. He's furious, not just because Blake went rogue, but because she dragged him into her PR implosion.
Here Friedman is quoted in TMZ. Let's look at what he said. Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case despite his publicly documented involvement, extending far beyond just being a supportive spouse.
Ryan knows this isn't just Blake messing up her image, she's tanking his too. This whole stunt is pulling them both into the quicksand, and he's not about to go down without a fight.
Something they reiterate a lot. We disagree, here's why, but worst case scenario, if we lose, we are allowed legally to go make an amendment, and we should at least.
So how far will they go to spin this? Pretty damn far. Because Blake and Ryan are doing damage control on steroids, trying to twist the narrative so hard it might snap in two.
Ryan, again, as I said, it seems very obvious to me that Ryan is the hand behind everything that is happening here. Justin Baldoni, he is playing a fake out.
But Blake's plan? Total backfire. She thought she was giving legal mastermind energy. Turns out it was giving clownery. From fake lawsuits to fake victimhood, she's officially in too deep. This isn't just a scandal, it's her legacy now.
What a manipulative, lying little twerp she is. I cannot stand her for this.
And the million-dollar question, will Ryan stand by her or finally draw the line? Because from where we're standing, this disaster is burning through both their careers like wildfire, and it's only getting worse.
On another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Ms. Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Ms. Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down her neck as he said, "It smells."
Blake's original goal? Crush Justin Baldoni, sue him, end him, rewrite the narrative. But what she didn't count on was the internet, the lawyers, and the receipts. Now she's the one under fire. And Ryan, he's stuck watching it all fall apart, wondering how he got pulled into a battle that's become way too personal. Blake Lively thought she was about to dominate headlines as a brave survivor. Her plan? Paint herself as the victim, slap down a lawsuit, and wait for the world to applaud. But the second people started peeling back the layers, everything fell apart. The subpoenas exposed, the connections way too suspicious. Suddenly, the victim looked a lot more like the villain. And Ryan Reynolds? He did not sign up for this chaos. Red carpets? Fine. A-list drama? Maybe. But being named as a co-conspirator in a fake lawsuit? Absolutely not. Mr. Charming is now stuck in a scandal bigger than his gin commercials. Let's be real, Justin Baldoni's career took a nosedive after the New York Times expose, and his legal team isn't calling it a coincidence. They believe Blake and possibly Ryan were plotting behind the scenes. Months of alleged collusion. This isn't gossip, this is next level sabotage. And Blake's legal team, they didn't even try to hide it. They used a straw lawsuit of fake legal filing to fish for private info. The vehicle? Von Zen Inc., which just happens to share an address with Blake and Ryan, you do the math. Meanwhile, the public caught on fast. The leaked texts, the PR spin, the I'm a victim act. It all crumbled. Social media dragged her mercilessly, meme after meme, calling her the legal Karen of Hollywood. And Ryan, oh, he tried to keep it light, throwing in Mean Girls references in Legal Dogs. But that charm? It backfired. Now he's not just collateral damage, he's part of the narrative. And the deeper you dig, the more involved he looks. From WME Connections to Maximum Effort Productions, the lawsuit suggests Ryan wasn't just watching, he was helping manage the spin. That Vans and Ink address, directly linked to both of them. Agent Eric Binder, another red flag. It's all way too coordinated. Even Katy Perry got dragged into the chaos. Her unrelated meltdown over a Wendy's tweet about space travel became another chapter in Hollywood's victim PR spiral. Her overreaction echoed Blake's, both of them weaponizing outrage while the internet rolled its eyes. Blake's plan is crashing, her legal tricks exposed, her fan base split. Ryan, reportedly furious and reevaluating everything. Behind the smiles and red carpet poses, insiders say their marriage is under serious strain. Ryan built a brand on being loved, and now he's being dragged through Blake's legal circus. If the courts confirm this was a calculated misuse of legal process, the consequences won't just be PR fallout, they'll be real. Fines, lawsuits, damage that no publicist can fix. So, what now? Blake's scrambling, Ryan's distancing. Justin might come out of this cleaner than anyone, because in trying to ruin his image, Blake might have destroyed her own. And Ryan's right along with it. This isn't just a celebrity mess, it's a warning. Manipulate the truth long enough and eventually it burns you.